Hello, I'm James Lim, founder of the Property P.L.U.S System, and this week I'll be continue curating some of the properties that I will actually recommend to you. Now, for last week, very interesting is that I have actually 3 to 4 clients who approached me and they have an investor mindset or flipping mindset. Okay, their plan was actually to flip, to buy and then to flip a property after 3 years or likely upon TOP. So they did ask me of my opinion of what properties or what location to buy. Of course, I refer my earlier video to them. Feel free to look at my earlier videos because they are actually give you very good information of what I will actually choose. Okay, but my last video was actually talking about 3 bedrooms undervalued that is near MRT station. But for this week, I'll be slightly different because I will actually putting myself in their shoes, and will be asking, okay, if I have to buy it, what properties would I buy that I'm very certain that there's going to be a profit upon TOP, or 3 years upon TOP that time, I will be able to sell it for a very good profit. So these are my 4 properties that I will actually strongly recommend to you. Okay. Now, when I look at all these properties at time, some of my clients also ask me, oh James, how do you select all these properties? Is it you randomly pluck from the air? No. Over my last 10 years of in the real estate industry, I actually come up with a system called the Property P.L.U.S System. You have heard of it multiple times. So what is the P.L.U.S system? When I look at a property at a time, I look at 4 things. Number 1 is actually the price. Number 2, I look at the location. The 3rd, I look at the URA master plan. And the number 4th, I look at the sellability. So how does all this play into part? So when I look at all these factors at time, right? So example, for the first one, the price, I actually talk about nearby properties that will actually increase your intrinsic value of your property. So when there is a nearby property that is like 50-20% higher than your property, definitely your property will look very attractive. Okay? Now the second thing I also look at is actually the location. So location, I look at both good schools and MRT station. You can have either one of them. If you have this type, it will be very strong. The third one I'll also be looking at is actually URA master plan, which is upon 3 years later when you intend to sell that time, there must be something good or valuable that will increase the value of your property. So most of the time, when I ask my clients that, oh, what is your exit strategy? When do you want to sell your property? A lot of times they can't give me the answer. Their plan is that, oh, I just want to have a very good and strong property that give me a lot of profit. But then again, you need to plan your exit strategy. So we need all these ideas. Lastly, very important is about sellability, whereby when you buy a property at a time, make sure that the people who are buying your property can afford it even if you make a very good profit. So for example, if you buy not a very good location, and property is like, for example, I give a real example, is like Jaden. Jaden reached like 2,600 per square foot. Yeah, 1 bedroom can be go as high as 1.5 to 1.8 million. Just imagine you buy on a super high floor at 1.8 million. Who in your right mind is going to buy a 2 above million in the Jurong area for 1 bedroom? It's not possible for a single bachelor to afford 2 million property. So you have to consider all this into play when we talk about this type of property selection. That is why I always look at 3 bedrooms. Although it's not near MRT station, it's alright because buyers will still buy it. Who are we targeting? HDB upgraders, for the 3 bedrooms, and this will actually give you the most amount of profit. So let's move on to it. Now, the first property that actually I will recommend will be LakeGardens Residences. Now, LakeGardens Residences is very interesting because it is in the west, number 1. So west side properties are normally more expensive than east side property. Okay, so what I can recommend for you is that if you don't have the budget, I feel this is actually very good, where you can actually go for either a 2 or 3 bedroom. Yes, I can understand it is not near train station, but then again, it's near the future high speed rail. There's a lot of growth and a lot of potential for it. And don't forget, HDBs in the west has actually hit the 1 million. Okay, so where these are the people who are selling your west side properties, your HDB, and they decide to upgrade to a private condo. So you can actually look into this type, although it's not near the train station, but it's still 2 bus stop away from it, and there's a lot of neighborhood schools around it that I feel is very strong. Okay, so do give this a consideration. Now the next one is actually I'll talk about is the Arden. Arden is really very very cheap. It's really walking distance to a LRT station, Phoenix LRT station, and it's actually even walking distance to a MRT station, okay, Bukit Panjang MRT station, and it's along the downtown line. So downtown line will take you all the way to a city. And come on, this is a new launch property that the price is only 1,600 to 1,700 per square foot. You can not find anything cheaper than here. So just imagine next time there's going to be new launches that will be even more expensive and further away from the MRT station. So I also consider this a very very value buy. You see, a 3-bedroom is like 1.9 million because of the size. You know, a 2-bedroom you can go for 1.2 million only. So this is something that I find it very very valuable. Now the third I also will recommend is I will talk about the Myst. Now really, I did talk in my earlier video is that if you are going for a 2-bedroom because of your budget constraint, you should go for LakeGardens. But if you are going for a 3 or 4 bedrooms, I'll still recommend the Myst. Okay, so in order of priority, right, I will always say that, okay, if you do have the budget, always go for a 3-bedroom first, because the 3-bedroom buyers will be more to the HDB upgraders and who do not want to pay the ABSD or can't afford to pay the ABSD. Therefore, you should actually go for this, the Myst 3-bedroom. Now, if you can't go for this, then you go on to either a 2-bedroom for the Myst or 2-bedroom at the LakeGardens. So that is actually my recommendation for you. Now, is it near MRT station? It's not doorstep away, but it's still walking distance to MRT station. Therefore, I find this as a very, very good property. Moreover, this is developed by CDL, and this CDL always gives very high premium quality finishing. So definitely, this is one of my top choices that I will actually choose. Okay, next. Sceneca Residences is a project in the east. Okay, I give this as a bonus last week if you watched till the end of my video. But now this is a property that I will actually strongly recommend to you. Now let's look at this. This property is roughly around 2,000 per square foot. But then again, when you look at this project itself, it is a mixed development. Number one, downstairs there's a supermarket and there's shops and restaurants. Number two, it's really a doorstep to the MRT station. You cannot find anything that is so much value of this. Okay, so this is also another property that I actually strongly recommend to you. Moreover, during the Chinese New Year period, the developer is giving some discount. So by all means, please go and look at these properties. Okay. Now, one question I do have from these 3 clients is that they're asking me is that, should I wait or not? Okay, should I wait for properties that are launching this year? Okay, so now what are some of the properties that will be coming up this year that I will definitely recommend, you know, will be like the here at One North, okay, Chuan Park Residences, Toa Payoh 1 itself, Clementi site, you know, and even a Tampines site. Now, for all these developments, right, number one, they are mega launches, which means they have units like 800 to 1,200 units, okay, mega developments. And number two, you can see that the price over here is not as low as what I've been recommending to you. So what I recommend to you, roughly around 2,000 per square foot, and you know, these are roughly a 2,500 per square foot range, which is like 25% higher. Okay, now these projects are actually sexier. Sexier means like there will be more in demand. So for example, Clementi site, Toa Payoh site, Lorong Chuan site, okay, these sites for HDB upgraders, right? Yeah, HDB can actually, this neighborhood, HDB has actually crossed above 1 million, which means they do have a budget to buy it. But don't forget, what I always feel in the market is that, yes, although they do have a budget for it, but then again is that you should be attracting a wider crowd of buyers, you know, where even, let's say, if I earn over 1 million for my HDB, and you know, would I spend so much in Toa Payoh at 2,500 per square foot or even higher, or should I go for other sites that is actually cheaper? You know, so this are a group of buyers, they may actually go for a cheaper location instead. I'm not saying that this group of projects are no good. It's just that at such a high price, you may have a hard time selling in future as compared to what I recommend to you earlier. But which is at a lower PSF, that I feel that it is able to let go faster, you know. So able to let go faster is also a good thing, because you are no longer paying your mortgage, and you know, you are not paying your monthly maintenance. So you should be looking into all this consideration. Okay, so I have actually given to you some of the projects that I would strongly recommend to you right now, and right now these are also the future projects that you should be looking for. Okay, especially the here at One North. Looking at One North area, it will attract really people from everywhere. Okay, like the Silicon Valley of Singapore. So these are the projects I will always consistently be talking about for the next few weeks or months maybe. So that's all I have for you this week. If you like this video, give a thumbs up button, or if you have anything to share, please feel free to type in the comment section. That's all I have for you. If you would like to see any of the show flat, now feel free to contact me. My WhatsApp number is actually below. That's all I have for you. Thank you so long and bye.